Thanks very much, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Can the Treasurer confirm that next financial year gross debt is forecast to be $100 billion higher than when the Liberal government was elected?
The Treasurer has the call.
Gross debt, Mr Speaker, in relation to the member's question next year, in 2015-16 is $415 billion. In 2016-17 it's $477 billion. Net debt, which I know the Shadow Treasurer sometimes gets confused with gross debt, but net debt next year is $285.8 billion and $313.4 billion. And the reason for that is, and it's higher because, Mr Speaker, as we know, the tail of structural expenditure increases that we inherited from those opposite will see, in particular, net debt rise to 18% of GDP next year in 16-17, and after that, Mr Speaker, it will fall. It will actually fall. And I'll tell you why it will fall, Mr Speaker. The reason it will fall is because this government has a program to ensure we get control of expenditure, and expenditure as a percentage of GDP will decline over the forward estimates, because we have a plan to control expenditure. Now, those opposite, Mr Speaker, they have $50 billion and more in unaccounted for fiscal promises and things they say they're going to change and put back in, and they have a budget black hole of over $50 billion, $57 billion in total net terms, Mr Speaker. So those opposite need to start explaining to the Australian people, when they talk about education spending, when they talk about health spending, they need to explain to the Australian people how they're going to pay for it. It's very clear how we're paying for our promises. The Social Services Minister has a clear plan to pay for how we're going to support childcare being more affordable for Australian families. We have a plan to better use the family tax payment bundle of funds and reorganise that so we can pay for increased affordable childcare for Australian families. That's how you do it. You actually make savings to make important investments in areas that Australian families want to see important services delivered. So that's what the government is doing. What they're doing over there, no one has any idea.